What's up, you guys? Godzilla fan freaks coming at you today with another figure review, and today we are going to be taking a look at the newly released NECA Shin Godzilla. I know it's kind of in the middle of the week. I've had a busy schedule, but I figured I better do the review now and get it up as soon as possible because tomorrow, which is, going to be Thursday, which is probably when this will be uploaded, I'm going to be leaving for 4 days for Phoenix Comic-Con in Arizona. Me and a couple of my buddies are going to be going up Phoenix, and we're going to be doing all 4 days. We got a hotel, and we're super excited, and that's what all this stuff is down here. I'm packed and ready to go. I'm going to be cosplaying as something I've never seen anyone cosplay as, Killer Croc. I got an orange jumpsuit that I decorated to be like an Arkham Asylum costume, a T-Rex mask from Jurassic Park, and then, of course, Velociraptor fingers from Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, whatever you want to say. But yeah, so that's my Killer Croc cosplay, and I got some plastic chains. But anyway, just to get that out of the way, that's what that is, and that's where I'm going to be for the next 4 days. So I'm like, I better get this review out now before I leave. Anyway, so just to get started on this figure, my first impressions when you guys saw my toy hunt for this video, I really enjoy it. I really like it. It's really great. NECA, I will say, when it comes to Godzilla, NECA is not the best. I want to say they do a lot better, it seems like, on their Predator and Alien figures, and even, Terminator and whatnot. But when it comes to Godzilla, there's just something that always just doesn't look quite right. I mean, for the price point, it's good, but when you look at their other figures that are the same price point, or maybe just a little bit more, you definitely do see a difference, and it's like, well, what's going on here, NECA? Come on. But, the NECA Shin Godzilla, it's not bad. The sculpting is nice. Yeah, sure, there's some things that, aren't perfect, but it does look like Shin Godzilla, and it's not horrible. So, just to get straight on into it, though, with the paint, very nice. You got those blacks and reds mixed all in there. Very, very, very nicely well done. I want to say, since NECA seems to be coming out with variants now for their Godzilla figures, they're coming out with a GMK. I want to say if they come out with another Shin Godzilla that has like purple or something, it doesn't necessarily have to have a atomic breath part, but if it comes like with a purple scheme, I'll probably get it, because again, this figure, it's not bad. But, paint, very, very nicely well done. I went through all the ones at the store, and I found one that had very nice paint applications all the way around. See all that green's from my costume. Just noticed all that. It's all the paint that I put on my Killer Croc costume. But, at least the hands anyway. But very nice all the way around. Teeth, very nicely painted. A nice, ivory color. It's dark, but it's there. Inside of the mouth is red. The eyes are very nicely painted. Just all the way around. Very nice paint applications. Detail, very, rough and, charcoal, charred, very burnt and, disfigured looking skin. It definitely does catch that dark and creepy feel of Shin Godzilla and his detail. Very nicely well done. Face, very nicely well done. You open up his mouth, you do get the membranes that were on the sides of his mouth when he opened up. So you do got those in there. And so, I mean, those, they're not bad. Again, it doesn't look perfect or great, but, it's a nice little touch. Spines, very nice Godzilla-looking spines, very nice dorsal plates. Let's see, hands, I got them in that pose because I don't have a Shin Godzilla yet that can hold that pose. The Bandai, his arms are more or less like this, normal. So having them upward palms, very nicely well done. Got this little point spike here on his chest, that's there. Feet, the feet, I want to say, the feet, hands, and spine, I want to say, are what are really stand out on this figure. Those really capture Shin Godzilla. Even the chest point area here, a little bit of the face, but overall, yeah, I think it's just very, very nicely well done. Next, we will move on to articulation. Which articulation, he's a NECA figure, so he's going to have some. So, I mean, he can look up, ever so far. He can look down. Of course, the mouth opens. The head, you can turn side to side, and it, does rotate. The neck, the joint at his neck, you can turn, but it's tight. There's a problem with mine. The tail easily falls off this ball joint. I might have to put some nail polish on there to tighten that up. But, so, left to right, down ever so far, and then up only that much. It is very tight. His waist, again, is also very tight, but you can turn it, left and right, and then you can kind of get a little bit of a crunch motion out of it, but not much. His arms at the shoulders can move up and down and forward and backward. Elbows, a little bit of a joint there. And then his wrists, of course, you can tilt and pivot and rotate and whatnot. So good articulation in his scrawny little arms. On the legs, I'm sorry I couldn't get that on camera as good as I can. It is hard from how small they are. But just take my words for it, you guys. His arms do move in all the segments that I've mentioned. So forward, backward, you can get, somewhat of a split going on. Not too much. At the knees, there is a joint, so you can, push his knees forward and back ever so much. Ankle, there's a swivel and, pivot, whatever. There's just a ball joint. This guy's a whole bunch of ball joints. So you got all that. And then, of course, to the tail. As you can see, the tail at the base there, big old ball joint that this fits into that it doesn't. It pops on there, but it falls off relatively easily. There it goes. I have heard that that's a continuation problem with other people as well. It's not just me. So, but again, it's not a big deal. This guy's just sitting on my shelf. So maybe I'll put some nail polish on there, maybe not, just because I don't really mess with them all that much. But the tail's where I have a lot of issues just because of the way it's segmented. It just looks funny. I can understand that they only had so many options with it, but I just want to say the way it's segmented makes it look a little funky, especially here at the end to where you can definitely see the weird curves and bends in it. And even if you try to straighten that out, the ball joints will pop apart. So I mean, you can try to okay, I'm just going to do the tail separately. So you could try to just turn each joint in a way to try to get to the way it was in the movie to get rid of that chunkiness a little bit. But you're only going to get so far. And, looking at it from different angles like this, it probably looks all right. But then once you get to the side profile, you can still see the, nice curve and then frickin' triangle point. It's that's just ugly right there in my opinion. You got a little freaking gap right here. Another gap down in here. So just the way the tail's segmented, I want to say, could have been a little better. I don't know what they could have did to do it better. I'm not a toy designer. But again, overall it's a good figure. That's my only problem with the figure is the tail, of course. Just the way it's segmented and that it's just very loose at the base there. So that's just about it. Other than that, I want to say it's a pretty solid figure. I like it a lot. Now if I can get him to stand because the tail's wanting to be weird in the different segments. But so I mean, again, I like the figure. It's not bad, but it's not perfect either. It is a NECA Godzilla. Let's put it that way. So then, last but not least here, let's just go on to some size comparisons. For size comparisons, I have the NECA Godzilla 2014 here. The 2014, I mean, they're just about the same height, I mean, they're all 6-inch figures, but the NECA 2014 does just sit just that smidgen bit lower. But there's the size comparison between those two NECA. These are the only two NECA Godzilla figures I have. I have a lineup of their Predator figures, but, no point in size comparing those ones. But, so there's the comparison between Shin and Godzilla 2014. And then, of course, here is the Bandai Shin Godzilla figure. Now, in all retrospect, even though the NECA Shin Godzilla, I've said, there goes the dang tail again. It's giving me problems now, you guys. So that's what I mean. I don't like the tail all that much. NECA, sometimes when they do different pieces like that, it's hard to get something on, but this time they made it too loose. You know how sometimes you get those figures and the interchangeable parts, they could just be really like impossible to get on. You have to like heat them up with a hairdryer or something like that. NECA made this one just almost too loose, so it's like you got to find that sweet spot in between to where it's like you can hear it pop on, and it's not too hard and it's not too easy. It's just right in that sweet spot, and it'll just hold perfectly. Anyway, so here's the Bandai Shin Godzilla, and like I said, I want to have to say, even though I like this guy, I still got to stick with the Bandai. This guy has a little bit more detail, and I want to say the paint might be a little bit more better, and you know, the face maybe, but I still like the Bandai. The only thing that the Bandai doesn't got that this guy has is that his hands are turned up in the right position. The Bandai, of course, as you can tell, are just down to the sides. But I still like the Bandai over this guy. You know, of course, the tail, very nice. I freaking love the tail on this figure. But but there's a size comparison between the Bandai and the NECA. You know, about the same height. This guy's just maybe just that smidgen taller. But other than that, there's a size comparison between the Bandai. And that's about all I got, you guys. So again, I like the figure. You know, it's not perfect, but it's not terrible. And, you know, what else can I say? If you can find it, get it, because Japan and, you know, Tamashii Nations, Toho, they're not really giving us anything as far as Shin Godzilla merchandise. You have to import everything. You have to import SH Monster Arts. You have to import, you know, of course, you know, Bandai's, but they're not as expensive. Of course, X Plus, you got to import. You're just having to import all this merchandise for Shin Godzilla, and it just ends up getting really expensive. We are getting the movie, though. Funimation is releasing the movie August 1st. If you didn't know that, Funimation is releasing the movie August 1st here in the States on Blu-ray and DVD. I cannot wait to pick up that. So I'll probably hold off on importing a version that's only in Japanese. So that's pretty cool news. I'm happy about that because, again, I enjoyed the movie. I know a lot of people didn't, but I enjoyed it. But anyway, you guys, that's about it to wrap up this review. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm definitely going to have fun this weekend, this 4-day weekend for me at Phoenix Comic Con with my friends. Can't wait for that. And who knows, maybe I'll find some Godzilla collectibles there. I don't know. We'll find out. So anyway, you guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Like always, we are Godzilla Fan Freaks. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.